Hey Sagittarius, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing your shadow work spread in honor of the Sun Chiron conjunction that occurred yesterday. It was at around the same time as the full moon in Libra, and technically we are still going to be feeling these energies for a little while. I definitely want to say for a week or so, if not until the rest of Aries season, which will be about another 2 weeks. But yeah, so keep in mind that these are general readings for you guys. It's not going to resonate for everyone. If the reading does resonate for you, please don't forget to like this video to support my channel and to subscribe for all future content so I can pick up on your energy for all future readings. If you have any Sagittarius placements and you are drawn to watching this video, then there will be a message in it for you. All right. So what shadow is Sagittarius hiding from themselves? So we have the scavenger, desperation, scarcity, wanting. What from Sagittarius's past created this shadow? Okay. We have lunar eclipse with spiritual changes and internal evolution. Very cool. And then how can Sagittarius best work with this energy? How can Sagittarius best work with this energy? Sacred law, rituals, boundaries, and practice. All right. So what I'm picking up on right away for you guys is that there is going to be an elevation in your spiritual gifts, your spiritual rank. You could be experiencing a lot right now where you are releasing a lot from the past, releasing things that don't serve you anymore. You might actually be feeling like an old version of yourself is totally decaying and dying away while you are making room for a metamorphosis of a new version of yourself to come in. I'm going to come back to this card, but I really feel like with the lunar eclipse card being in the center here, that this coming eclipse season is going to be very monumental for you guys. And we actually have a lunar eclipse. Let me take a look at my calendar. It's right next to me here. So new moon, yes. So the new moon solar eclipse in Aries, right? Yes. New moon solar eclipse in Aries is going to be on Thursday, April 20th. But we also have a full moon lunar eclipse that is going to take place in the sign of Scorpio on Friday, May 5th. So I would definitely pay attention to what happens for you over the course of the next month or so. Because I really feel like there's going to be a lot of timeline shifts happening for you guys during this time. There's like a big change that I sense coming up for you that has a lot to do with your personal evolution and your spiritual awareness. So back to the spread. What shadow are you hiding from yourself? Scavenger with desperation, scarcity, and wanting. I'm almost picking up an energy here of you guys like suppressing your true desires. It's almost like you make yourself feel guilty for the things that you want to pursue or the things that you want to invest in. Very interesting energy that I'm picking up on. It almost feels like you guys have a tendency, I'm seeing like trophy wife or adding something to the roster, adding something to the list is what's coming into my head, or like adding a trophy to the wall. Yeah, that's what it is. So there's something here about you guys where it's like you see something, you want it, and like you want to have it right away. But it's like as soon as you get said thing or person or situation out of the way and you get what you want out of it, it's like you discard it. And here we have in the scavenger, there's a raven sitting on top of a pile of bones, which seems to be prey that he has already killed. And what I'm picking up from this is that there's something here about either your ego or some sort of dark desire, like that you have suppressed for a very long time. Maybe something happened in your childhood where maybe it's maybe something about like your sexual desires, or something about, it's like you were not allowed to have the free will that you wanted to pursue what you wanted to pursue. Maybe you grew up in a very controlling household, or maybe whatever, like anytime you really wanted something, you were convinced that you didn't need it, or you had to face other people around you experiencing something that you really wanted. Or maybe it was just very difficult to receive the things that you wanted, something about being held back from the things that you really wanted. So I feel like now there's this desire that you have within you, like a deep, definitely in the shadow, but like a deep, either lustful desire or a hunger for things that you don't have just so you can say that you've had them. That's kind of what I'm picking up here. And I feel like, yeah, there's definitely something here about you guys, like either not having enough of something growing up, or I'm hearing nice guys finish last come into my mind. So maybe there were situations where the people or situations that you wanted to pursue in the past growing up or when you were younger, it wasn't reciprocated, and maybe this caused you to feel like you were not good enough. So then it sort of brought you to this point of you emotionally detaching yourself from people and situations in order to get something that you want out of it. So it's showing up a little bit narcissistic here, definitely. At least a narcissistic tendency. We all have the ability to have a tendency towards narcissism. Some of us are more or less than others. It is a spectrum, in my opinion. And I do feel like you guys have a tendency here where it's like you see something, you want to get it, you want to have it. It's like a kid in a candy store. And it's like as soon as you get it, it's like, okay, I'm bored again, now what? And then you go searching for the next thing, the next person, the next situation that's going to give you that high. So I think there is an aspect here of your psyche where it's like you were not allowed to have the things that you wanted, or maybe you were made to feel shame. I'm picking up that you were made to feel ashamed of your choices or of your sexuality or of your dark desires. Maybe some of you guys have Scorpio placements. I would definitely watch that if you feel drawn to it. But it definitely feels like you were prevented from doing something or wanting something or having freedom, possibly. So then when you grew up to be older, it's like you went crazy and you went balls to wall and you went to go, I don't know, sleep with all these people or spend all this money or travel to all these places. But it was just to fulfill like a void in your ego or in your heart that you didn't have something that you had before. So it's like you make it a point to go after it, but then you try to go after it in excess, right? What from your past created this shadow? Lunar eclipse, spiritual changes, internal evolution. I feel like what I'm picking up on is you guys are becoming aware of this tendency that you have and you really want to change. I am picking up that whoever I'm reading for, it's almost like you feel ashamed for feeling ashamed of what you used to feel ashamed for. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like you're realizing that this was conditioned into you. It's like this behavior that you have, it results from you being conditioned to be a certain way when you were younger, and now you have the ability to change that. So you guys are definitely going to go through a change here where it's like you completely leave an old version of yourself in the past. Maybe you're going to cut this habit out come eclipse season. So I really feel like I said, this next month coming into the summertime, going into the fall, probably ending around November, there's going to be a huge lesson that you're going to learn surrounding your tendency to pick and choose, or your tendency to be just using people or situations, maybe not necessarily realizing it, but maybe you are starting to realize that now, that the behaviors that you have been engaging in are not the most ideal, they're not the most high vibrational, because you realize that once you get something, or once you get what you want, it's like you no longer have a desire towards it. So there's definitely something here that you have to reflect about your ego and about why you gravitate towards people and things that, like, I don't even know how to describe this one, because I personally, like, okay, I'm channeling right now, so I personally have never really had to go through something like this. I don't know exactly what this feels like, so I'm trying to give the best example to describe. But it definitely feels like you guys just, like, I'm trying to understand the energy here. I don't know, it's just like you let's say you see an attractive person and like you want to sleep with them, right? And like once you do that, maybe you play around with this person, you play mind games with them in order to get what you want out of them so you can sleep with them. And then once you get that, then you toss them to the curb. Or maybe you have an obsession with, like, it's coming up as people, definitely. Like you have an obsession with people and then like you kind of drop them. Or maybe you get bored in a relationship and you go searching for someone else because you think the grass is greener, but then it ends up being like you only wanted either like the emotional fulfillment, or not even that, mostly like the sexual fulfillment. I'm picking up a lot of lust here. You guys probably really struggle with lust, is what I'm going to narrow it down to. And I feel like this coming eclipse season, you're going to really be getting on your own ass about this behavior that you have and how you can change it, because I am picking up, like I said, that some of you guys are aware of this and you don't really want to be doing this anymore. Some of you guys have made changes already. Others of you are really feeling ashamed and struggling on how to begin this journey on how to make a change. So, which leads us to the third card here. How can you best work with this energy? Sacred law, rituals, boundaries, and practice. I'm picking up here that you guys really need to create some sort of daily routine or some sort of, let's say, like spiritual or personal creative ritual here where you are able to channel this either obsessive energy or lustful energy into something more productive. And with boundaries being here, I feel like you guys really have struggled with boundaries in the past. Maybe you were the type of person, no offense, I'm not calling anyone out, we've all been a part of something that we are not proud of, but maybe you have been like a homewrecker in the past. Maybe you have pursued people who were in relationships and you got off of the high of like tearing the relationship down or getting the person just to say that you did it. Or maybe it was reversed. Maybe you were the person who was always in a relationship and you succumbed to outside people and outside parties trying to destroy your relationship and you just let it happen. So there's definitely something here about learning to, it's almost like you guys may struggle with right versus wrong, or like what is okay and what's not okay. There's definitely something here about lust, obsession, relationships, really struggling to determine like why you do these things, or I don't know. It's like some of you guys might feel like you're not sure if what you're doing is wrong. Maybe no one has ever taught you this. Maybe you didn't have a healthy example of a relationship growing up. But many of you do understand what you have done in the past and some behaviors that you have that regard or that pertain to this situation, to this topic. And I feel like you are really trying to change that. And it takes practice. It's going to take you learning who you are. It's going to take spending more time alone, maybe spending more time in nature, journaling, seeking therapy, seeking some sort of healing where you are able to sort of get your thoughts out and reflect. There has to be some sort of process here where you are able to tap into your subconscious. So maybe some meditation or getting into divination, oracle cards, tarot cards, anything where you can try to tap into your own energy, your own subconscious, your own higher self, so that way you get more acquainted with who you are and you get more comfortable with who you are. But I really feel like there is a lot that's going to be changing for you come this eclipse season, and I am picking up that some of you might experience a relationship here where you learn some lessons that pertain to this topic, or maybe you just choose to cut the habit once and for all. But I'm definitely feeling like this year something's going to change when it comes to this habit that you've had. I don't even know what to call it because there's a lot of different energies here. But like I said, it has a lot to do with lust, obsession, desire, maybe breaking rules, not following rules. Very Sagittarius fitting behavior, of course. And I'm referring to the rule breaking, not everything else. Anyone else can have these shadow aspects to themselves. I'm gonna go ahead and clarify some of these with the tarot cards to see if we can pick up any other information for you. I'm hearing like this whole time I've been doing this reading, I'm just hearing in my mind like I gotta have it, I gotta have it. It's like you guys become obsessed with people, situations, and it's like once you get that said person, situation, it's like the high is over, and like you see there's something here about you either idealizing people, situations, or just going after them for the wrong reasons. Yeah, Seven of Cups, Two of Cups. There could be a specific relationship right now that you are trying to pursue, but maybe this person is with someone else, or maybe they have other options, or maybe you have other options. So I'm getting an energy here of you keeping your options open at all times. Maybe you have a issue with commitment here where you don't like to commit yourself too much because you don't want to prevent other opportunities from coming into your life. So clarify the Scavenger for Sagittarius, please. All right, we have the Lovers. Definitely, yeah. Like I said, it's pretty straightforward here. It's like you set your eyes on something, and look at this. It's really giving me like a single person looking at a couple who's in a relationship, who seems to be in a happy relationship. And it's like you want to go after them. You want to pursue them, maybe just because they look happy, or maybe the person's attractive. Who knows what the reason is? Maybe you actually like the person. But it's like you set your sights on situations that are very hard to come by, or morally incorrect, or things that you can't have. Yeah, it's like you want things that you can't have, and you try to find a way to get them, even though it goes against maybe some personal morals that you have, or maybe some of you just don't care about like commitment, or you don't care about the fact that other people actually respect like a monogamous relationship, and you kind of just, you want what you want. I don't know, that's kind of what I'm getting with this energy. It's like you really choose to invest in the people that you choose to invest in just for what you want out of them. And for a lot of you, this is multiple people, multiple situations. So let's clarify the lunar eclipse card, please, for Sagittarius. Clarify the lunar eclipse. We have Queen of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, and the Fool. Yeah, so what you are being faced with this coming eclipse season is whether or not you want to continue down this path of what you have been doing, maybe pursuing relationships the same way you have been, pursuing people the same way you have been for your whole life, or you can take a leap of faith to try something new here. And I feel like with the dog being here, it's like he's pulling him back. He's holding on to his sweater, his cape, or whatever he's wearing there. There could be someone who is preventing you from trying to redeem yourself, or trying to stop you from starting over. Maybe some of you have, I'm picking up a lot of polyamory here. So it's like maybe you were in a connection with multiple other people who also wanted to be in connections with multiple other people. So it's almost like a group activity going on here. There's certain things I can't say on YouTube, but I think you know what I'm talking about. And it's like someone here doesn't want you to change your ways. Somebody wants you to continue to do what you've been doing. Maybe you do this with a friend or with a loved one, and you guys are into this, or maybe you have been into this. And it's like you have the opportunity here. It's like, do I continue doing what I've been doing, or do I try something new? What I'm saying. So the choice is definitely going to be yours. And I'm not here, okay, so I need to put a disclaimer here. I don't have anything against polyamory. I totally respect it. But I think when you are trying to force other people into your belief, or when you are trying to pursue, like, let's say a monogamous happy couple who is in a relationship and they don't want anything that you are trying to like pursue, or let's say they don't agree with your vision or with your behaviors, and it's like when you pursue certain people that don't want what you want, that's when it can become a little bit treacherous, a little bit dangerous. So I'm just picking up like a lot of you guys, it's like you don't care for rules, and that's perfectly fine, but some people do, and you need to respect that. Some people do follow rules, some people do go by the book, some people are very conservative and very traditional, and I feel like you have a hard time with boundaries. You have a hard time enforcing your own, and you have a hard time respecting other people's boundaries. So clarify sacred law, please. Clarify sacred law. We have the Four of Cups. A lot of you guys are feeling King of Wands. A lot of you guys are feeling hesitation towards this. It's almost like a very egotistical energy of like, no, I don't want to change. I don't want to do the work. I don't want to, it's like, I don't want to see this new opportunity that the universe is sending me to become a better person, because I want to keep doing what I've been doing. Maybe it's been working for you. Maybe you, like I said, it's like, it's an ego rush for you. You get off on getting the things that you want, not having anyone control you, King of Wands. But I do feel like with the Seven of Wands here, it's like you face opposition in many different directions in your life, or maybe you feel like you have to protect yourself because of certain behaviors that you have. And again, here we see like the King of Wands, it looks like he's taming the lion. The lion almost looks very upset to be there. And honestly, he almost looks like he's drugged. I don't want to get into that, but I don't know what type of behaviors you guys are engaging in behind the scenes, but it does seem like you could be involving yourself in something that can turn sour very quickly. I feel like a lot of you guys really struggle with just your ego, forming boundaries. It's like you don't even care to enforce your own boundaries. You just want what you want. Some of you guys have a very inflated ego. But I feel like this really stems from something that you did not receive in childhood. You either didn't receive enough love, you didn't receive enough attention, or you were not allowed to go after what you wanted. It's like you were highly controlled as a kid, or you were given many rules to follow. Maybe you were the oldest sibling, or maybe you just had to grow up very quickly. But it's almost like you guys didn't get to experience what you wanted to experience when you were younger. So then you grew up into this version of, I'm going to get whatever I want, and no matter what way I'm going to get it, or like no matter who gets in my way. And this, to an extent, can be a very detrimental mindset to have, because it's like we don't want to step on other people's toes. Most of us, if we have empathy, if we care about other people, we don't want to hurt other people in the process. And I feel like what you have been doing, it's like you've been like, I'm just seeing a train just like rushing through, and it's like you just take what you want and you don't see how it's affecting the people around you. And I feel like coming back to that King of Wands, Seven of Wands, it's like you could be either gaining enemies because of this, or you could be coming into situations with people where you face a lot of conflict, or where you have to defend yourself, or where people don't trust you, or you don't trust people. And it's because of the fact that you can't trust yourself. I feel like a lot of you guys don't trust yourselves, which leads you to sort of enact these behaviors or behind the scenes lustful obsessions that you like to have with people. So it's a very interesting reading. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to end it off with a message from the instant fortune teller. So let's see what you guys need to hear. Reach out to those around you. Prioritizing career over connection will leave you lonely. Okay, that one's pretty straightforward. If you guys have been working a lot and not really tending to your relationships, or you haven't been spending as much time with friends, I would definitely make sure that you are investing into the relationships that you want to keep. Because like I said, I do feel like you guys have a hard time investing fully into a relationship, because you just put a little bit into each one so that way you can keep each one around. But I feel like the ones that you really have to prioritize, the ones that you really care about, you need to put a little bit more energy into, is what I'm picking up on. And we also have, sometimes all you need is a good night's sleep to replenish your mind, body, and spirit. Be sure to get one. So you guys are definitely needed to sleep more. I am picking up that you are very anxious, sleep deprived. I was picking up the anxiety over here as well when I pulled this card specifically. But yeah, a lot of you guys really need to take care of yourselves. You guys need to spend more time sleeping, meditating, taking care of your body, drinking more water. Because I feel like a lot of you are in a place right now where you are working too much or doing too much, and you are neglecting your own self. So I'm going to leave it here for you. I hope I was able to connect with you in this reading, and I will see you in my next reading for you. Bye.